crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women.
That's correct. Oh, hi YouTube.
Oh, hey, there you are.
Hey.
Wow.
Welcome back.
It's Friday here at Ferrum Forge.
Yes, it is. Thank goodness.
And we were like, oh, what should we do today? Something we haven't done in way too long. So we're gonna make a video. Finally. Hopefully, we've already had one attempt. We overheated the camera. I'm not even joking. I was spewing so much hot air that the camera
hot fire.
overheated.
Hit the hot fire.
Tony Diamond's back there being camera guy today, and he goes, we just overheated the camera. It's a little toasty, I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, you'll notice both Elliot and I are on camera at the same time. Ooh. This is rare. I think the last time it happened was when your wife was the
Are you guys brothers?
No.
Yes. So, okay, we have some definite things that we gotta talk about. Okay. Things that are new in the shop.
Things are new in the shop.
We didn't get to do that in the last video because it didn't upload.
Right.
Things that are new. It's an important thing that's new. You know, it's nice and cool in here. Because some smart guy put an air conditioning vent in here.
This is one of the smartest things he's done around here. You gonna argue with me?
No. So we got a TW90, and every time we add a new piece of grinding or cutting or some kind of new piece of machinery in the shop, we go, how in the hell did we make knives before this? And I don't even know. I don't even know how we did it. It's crazy. Just magical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more of those. We need more of those.
Yeah, I know.
I want more. They're great.
I mean, while we're at it, I'll take one.
Super cheap.
Just gonna need like 1,000 of them.
Yeah. Maybe we get a quantity discount.
Yeah.
We know I love quantity discount. Just saying.
I buy my grinders like I buy my donuts. It doesn't. Oh, one day, bro.
So now as we're walking out, you can get a little more appreciation for some of the other things that we've changed. So we clear out a bunch of crap and we put in real live assembly tables with nice lighting and lots of power to plug crap in. And between having the new grinder and just having a nice fit up area, it's increased productivity for us. So we've been able to get more stuff done.
And a drill table?
On the whole drill thing. It's actually light on drill presses. I mean, Gavko pushed the thing, he had like 5, and I was like, oh, Gavko's got 5 drill presses, man.
We've only been talking about having dedicated drill presses, having
Each bit?
for each bit
That would
for
be nice.
a while now, but
We should probably do that.
yeah, we like being paid.
But you gotta spend money to make money.
We'll get there, bro.
Okay.
You know, I'll tack it on with the grinders.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about a dozen of grinders.
Yeah.
Dozen of drill presses.
So what is the
good
coolest part of this new table that you all have now?
That is
Ooh.
a fan. It is pointed directly at my junk when I'm sitting there.
Oh.
Keeping my man bits nice and cool. It's very important. Primo.
Very strong, Joel.
All right, let's move on to shit that we're doing. Actually, knife making stuff. Okay, so we've done a lot of stuff in the past, gosh, since we made a video last. We finished the Mordaxes. Those are gone.
Mordax.
Well, they're dealers, fine, but still. We did the Kramer,
The deity.
the deity. We did the Tridecim with Arena knives.
Arena knives. Trade us.
And then we've got the Toxic Blades collab Kylans that are, they're actually all out at their dealers right now. They should be showing up literally today. And then,
coming up,
are the NTACs. Who's got the NTAC?
the Intacs in the office.
Contacts in the office.
All right, let's go to the office. Nice.
No, he's grabbing the fire. Oh god.
Okay. We've made a strategic decision to relocate to the office because the air conditioning is nice in here and we don't want to overheat the camera again like a bunch of idiots.
Speak for yourself.
The camera got real hot. Okay, so The Antex, what we're doing next. Right? The Kylan was a fairly small knife. This is a fairly small knife. Because we had a lot of people that love our knives say, I wish we had a slightly smaller knife. Like, we love the Fortis, we love the Mordax, but they're just pretty big. Pretty big to wear in a pair of slacks, or if you're wearing some light shorts because it's like 100-something degrees outside in October, like it is here today. Need something a little lighter. And so I said, okay, we can scale. I can make
And a
something
knife
cool.
that doesn't frighten women in the grocery store.
What? No. No. So, we're going to be moving a lot towards slightly more gentlemanly style knives that are a little smaller for discreet carry. I think it's a nice word. Discreet.
Discreet.
But still, you know, robust, fair and forged built knives that you can do some work with.
Oh, hell yeah, you can do some work with that.
So these are coming up next. There's a pre-order on our website currently for them if you wanted to get some crazy shit like, I don't know, Maker's Choice. And then we should be building these in about, well, I should be building in less than 3 weeks. We'll be on to these. We should have parts back and be rocking and rolling. And there's a bunch of different scale options that we did for these. We're going to do a lot more of as we move more into doing 200-piece runs. We'll start giving you guys a lot of options for a look.
Options are optional.
So after we run these bad boys in a couple of weeks, then we're going to move on to an interesting project that may or may not kill me. It might kill me. We're making SM100 stingers.
It's gonna work out. Everything's gonna go
It'll be
according to
fine.
plan. It'll be
So
fine.
I just happen to have a stinger that's in Damascus that's up for auction today. It's Friday.
It's Friday. We'll see when this video actually uploads.
So like that's a stinger, and we originally did 20 of these, and the idea behind them was to make his knife as least expensive as possible, and it was challenging, and I didn't like the way it turned out. And so I said, let's keep the design because the design is nice. It's ergonomical. It's slim. It's fairly sexy. But let's do something more awesome.
More awesome.
So yeah, why not put SM100 blades in it? Going in the complete opposite direction. We're going to least expensive to most expensive.
Complete opposite there.
Yeah. Sometimes these ideas I have.
Well, we don't believe in overkill.
What?
No.
What is this word you say? I don't understand it.
I read about it once in an ancient text.
Overkill.
I believe it comes from the Gaelic.
Yes. I see.
Yes.
Gaelic. So, I get asked a ton of questions about SM100, which is reasonable since I happen to know a lot about it. And it's a very difficult material to speak about in compressed soundbite, bullet point style ways that we're used to getting information about our blade materials. Because some of the things that make it interesting and important, in my opinion, as a blade material, are things that are actually really difficult to describe without some precursory knowledge of material science and chemistry and physics and metallurgy. I mean, it's not easy metal to explain. So we'll start at the misconceptions and then work to the reality. So when people hear nickel titanium, they almost exclusively only hear the titanium part, which is unfortunate because it's mostly nickel. And in fact, it is the nickel that is doing some of the magic in this material. There are other materials that are being generated right now that use a 60-ish% nickel and other things that are in the same period on the periodic table as titanium, and they exhibit some of the same properties that SM100 does. So it really is the nickel that is one of the driving factors that does some of the interesting things.
We should get a periodic table for the office.
I want a periodic table. It's good thinking.
We have a Wookiee, but we don't have a damn periodic table of the elements.
True.
Cameraman? Cameraman? Can you pan to the Wookiee, please?
Pan to the Wookiee?
Wookiee? Chewbacca? Lives in our shop? Thank you.
It's a serious place of business. So that's misconception number one, right? Is that it's titanium. It's actually mostly nickel. Misconception number two, because people get all excited when they see guys like us post videos of this is going to get hot on my fingers, isn't it?
You didn't bring the.
No.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, it's called shape memory. So when it's at room temperature, sorry, I got it. Took care of it. When it's at room temperature, you can manipulate SM100 when it's not heat treated. And you can bend it in all kinds of different ways, and it just bends. It's like, hey, whatever, ooh. And then when you heat it, it goes back to the way it used to be.
What was that?
It goes, woo. It goes back to the way it used to be.
It's Friday. Don't judge us.
No, you can judge me when you want. I just don't care. And so people get hung up on that. They're like, oh, so like, no. The shape memory actually sucks. It's annoying as a knife maker. Because most materials come in plate form. That's how we like them as knife makers. So that we can cut stuff out of it. And so plates have to get rolled out. And they get rolled with heat being applied to them, usually, for hot rolled things. And SM100 has to be hot rolled. It can't be cold rolled. And so it generates this beautiful sloping curve in the plate. And then, of course, it gets reflattened. But SM100 remembers. And so then when you go to heat treat it, it goes, oh, thank you, because I want to be the way that I remember. And it just curves. It's great. A lot of knife makers have some problems with that. I have seen many knife makers snap an SM100 blade in half because it warped during heat treat. And in steel, you get about 15 minutes-ish before a steel truly sets up its martensitic structure and becomes fully hard, and you have issues bending it again. So if you heat treat a steel blade and it comes out a little bit warped, you can usually press it out in like an arbor press and reflatten it. I've done it many a time. People try and do that with SM100, and they run into some of the interesting properties that occur in SM100 after you heat treat it. So it has this property called superelasticity. There are a few other metals that have superelasticity, just as there are a few other metals that have heat or shape memory. But SM100 has a so far undefined range of superelasticity. NASA wasn't able to find it. I haven't been able to find it. What the limit of the superelasticity is. What superelasticity means is that as you incrementally increase the force applied and then released, it incrementally becomes more flexible and bends and returns back to its original shape. Think of it like a bouncy ball, kind of. But a bouncy ball that you can't actually crush. No? Bouncy ball? No bouncy ball.
I like the Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan.
I like that one.
What if they don't know about Super Saiyan?
Who doesn't know about Super Saiyan?
Then they need to get on our level.
What kind of our customers know about Super Saiyans? Okay.
Alright, so it's like a Super Saiyan metal.
But the idea being, just to simplify it down, is as you add more force each time that you're doing something to the metal, incrementally a little bit more, and release it a little bit more, and release it, it gets stronger and stronger.
Well, stronger is not a good word.
It gets more and more super elastic?
Yes.
Okay.
Because strong, I love people, they ask me about steel, like, well, is it stronger? And I'm like, stronger is not even a word that is in the vocabulary when we talk about the properties of steel, because it's all strong. Right? Strength almost always refers to yield and flexural.
No, don't go down.
Or tensile. And those are the three things when we talk about strength that they refer to. See, I told you, it gets so technical so fast. I can't help it.
So, what does super elasticity mean at the edge of a knife?
So here's what...
How does it apply to a knife blade? Because that's all we really care about.
Well, I was going to go through three things that make SM100 unique, special, and magical. Three.
Okay.
Three.
You
You used to do three like this when you were a little kid. Now, after that touching family moment, so the three things. Corrosion resistant. Doesn't rust. Very difficult to corrode with acid. You got to leave it in there for a long time. Lighter than steel, 18%, roughly the same as titanium, and it's actually very noticeable on a knife. It makes it seem very
go on, what's that?
different. And then the third one is the most difficult to explain. So because of that super elasticity, when you're cutting through something, let's say cardboard, since cardboard is generally a mishmash of all kinds of different shit, and it's got all kinds of things in it. I have found literally rocks in the cardboard. It's crazy. So if there's some hard particulate in whatever material it is that you're cutting, when a steel blade, the blade will interact with that hard particulate, and it has two choices. Either it bends and stays bent, or it breaks and chips. Depending upon what kind of steel it is, it'll do one of those two options. SM100, on the other hand, doesn't do either. It bends around it and then goes back normal. It's crazy. There's not really any other material that I'm aware of outside of the nickel-based superalloy family that does that. So that's what makes it super special, to me, as a knife maker. Is it a pain in the ass to work with? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I engineer specifically for the material in a knife. It's challenging. It's one of the whole reasons why we use a Hoback rolling D10. Back in the day when I was trying to make flippers out of some of the original stock, I was having a hell of a time with the D10 just galling in the material, and it was squeaking, and they're terrible, and the flipping action sucked. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm smarter than this. And then I found Hoback's rolling D10 idea, and I was like, that's perfect, that'll do. And then we've used it ever since. So those are the SM100 stingers. That's why I like SM100. It's complicated, I know, and it's hard for me to explain. One of these days I'm going to sit down and compose like an actual flowing thought process about it, so I can talk about it without sounding like a crazy mad scientist person.
And I will edit it so that it makes sense to other human beings.
What?
Every good writer needs a great editor.
This is very true. So, I'm looking up our production board. And so after the SM100 stinger, then we get into some interesting shit. So, there's a collaboration with DSK Tactical, Dan Sullivan. He's a friend of the Forge. We like him a lot. It's a cool knife. He has a prototype for it. I don't. Then after that, and this is a 25-piece run, so they'll be super special. And then after that, we're going to do a Tim Curry collab. Tim Curry, so hot right now.
So hot right now.
So hot right now. We're going to do different stuff to the face scale machining for sure. But there'll be a non-flipper. What? I don't think we have ever run an actual run of non-flippers before.
No, sir. We have not run.
I've only done
an
one-offs and
actual
stuff. They should be pretty bamf. So that's happening, hopefully. And then, what I really want to be able to get to this year is the Chavez ferrumforged knife collaboration. I don't know if I want to call it mini. Let's call it small. Small. It's basically a Redención. We could give it another name, I think, because it's different enough. And so it'll be flipper and thumb stud driven. We're going to build them all. They'll have all our ferrumforged goodies, and it's going to have a skull clip. Ramon and I have been working on getting a small one made for a smaller knife. So if you love Ramon's work, but you kind of always wanted to see a flipper, and maybe one that's a little bit more pocketable. I mean, I have a 228, and it's beefy even for my pockets. We do have a 228. Put that anywhere.
Do you have a special 228?
No. Christopher just made it special.
Oh, his special 228.
So I downsized it a little bit.
We'll just call it a scaled. It's just
I scaled it. And I made it a little pointier. Just a little bit. These should be super awesome.
super awesome.
Super awesome. So, that's that. And then, like, that's going to take us to the end of the year. And then 2016 is going to be even more insane than 2015 was. And 2015 has been crazy. My goodness gracious. If you would have told me at the beginning of this year that we would have done the things that we did this year, I would have laughed at you. We're kind of in a maniacal, like, laugh, not like a, haha, you're so silly laugh. What? It's true. But now here we are. And so looking at 2015, we're going to change the way that we do some things. Because I like making knives.
Yeah.
But I also like having money in my bank account. And runs of 25 actually cost us a lot of money. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
When we go back and do the books on them, and I go, oh my goodness gracious, we spent how much? And we only charged what? Oh, caca. Because while we do love making knives, this is also a business, and it has to make money. Otherwise, it's losing money. There's no such thing as being vegan. And so, we're going to move to doing 200-piece runs for everything, with the occasional 25-piece run of something that's going to be a special collab with somebody that doesn't want to do a 200-piece run, which probably won't be that many people. So one of the things that the people that don't want to do a 200-piece run are going to be Tashi Baruka. That guy, that Frenchie. And so, I can only say that because I love him. He loves me back. He said I was handsome. So, he's calling this a Jeffrey. Because who would be scared of a Jeffrey?
Who can be scared of a Jeffrey?
But, what, they're going to end up being very different looking than this. As I was building this one, I was like, I have an idea. It's going to be a ragingly awesome idea. And because we design stuff in 3D CAD now, I can get wild. Wild. So, you're going to see a lot more 3D machining on our handles from here on out because I like doing it. One of the other things that you're going to see in the 25-piece run is going to be a Les George collaboration. Something that looks like that. Actually, Les and I have been trading CAD back and forth. He's made some changes, and I actually kind of like the changes. It looks more like a Les, something Les would do, and a little less like something that. Ooh,
You're down.
more like less and less like. A little different.
Row, your boat.
Still very, very cool. And actually, I've been carrying this knife a lot. I like this knife.
Elliot loves that.
I like that knife a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, probably the first 200-piece run of 2016 is going to be, I've been hinting about it for a long time, is the Compliance Edge Vendetta folder. Like, I have tried for an entire year now, actually,
To get that
rolling, and it's just been very, very challenging. Not because of anything to do with Compliance Edge, but just because of us and like trying to schedule it to be done. We're finally doing it. I'm saying that's it. I'm putting my foot down. So I re-engineered it.
Officially on the schedule.
It's officially on the
Tentatively.
schedule. No, it's on there for January. It's happening.
Yeah, the date is tentative. That's all.
I'm doing it.
So
Doing this shit.